pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Minutes of Monday, July the 11th.
Also move, Mr. Chairman.
All second. Been moved and second to approve the minutes as presented. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
4-0. Okay. Mary, you're up.
It's miscellaneous.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Oh, miscellaneous. Yeah. Move to approve the 2023 district court budget as submitted and authorized and direct the chairman to sign the same.
Maybe you direct the vice chairman to sign.
Direct the vice chairman, yeah. Just in case you don't know, we have to approve their budget anyway.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Been moved and second to approve the budget. Any discussion? Not, all in favor say aye.
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 Carries 4-0. Move to authorize and direct the chairman to sign the payroll notice for Josh Norick.
North.
No, it's pronounced Norts.
North set to change jail from corrections officer 1 to corrections officer 2. Classification from 2010 to 2014. Wage from 2017 to 2136. Effective 7/1/22.
And we'll make that vice chairman also.
Yes.
Also move.
I'll second.
Been moved and second. Any discussion? Not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carries 4-0. Okay. All right, sorry, Mary. Now you.
The library has purchased new road signs, for each town in the county. The original road signs are original, so they're 30 years old approximately, and they're getting very faded. So, I worked with Janet Lizer at the Road and Bridge Department, and we purchased these signs through, National Sign Company in Ottawa, and she asked that, I come to the commission to see if it would be okay for them to install them, since they report to you, to use their time to help us install the signs.
Just replacing old signs.
Just replacing the current ones. There's no new posts or anything like that. It's just the current.
I don't have a problem.
I don't have a
No
problem
problem
with it.
with it.
Was there 2 signs for each city or
Mhm.
4?
2
2.
I think it's
that are current, and
Those will
then,
show up really good.
yeah, it's the same exact, size. It's just, now the wording's all uniform and they're not faded. But wanted to ask permission before we just asked them to do it.
I guess they came and asked, we probably could have a motion to verify the fact that we're okay with it.
If it needs a motion, I'd so move that we allow, you said Road and Bridge,
Mm-hmm.
Road and Bridge to install the new library sign.
I'll second.
Been moved second to allow Road and Bridge to help with the new library sign. New discussion? Not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carries 4-0. Okay.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. They look nice. Those are probably more reflective, aren't they?
I think the original ones probably were. They're just getting really old and they're faded.
Okay.
They'll be uniform. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we're waiting on Wayne.
I have official rules yet.
Okay.
I've done that.
We've done that. Done that.
I'm gonna text Wayne and see if he's around here somewhere,
Yeah.
just waiting.
He should, he's supposed to be here at
9:20.
9:20, yeah, see if he can come on up. We'll get him out of here. Bobby, do you have something for us today?
Yes, sir. Now, just an update on one thing.
Okay?
I was-
You Fill in.
Yes, sir. I was approached by a couple of commissioners a few weeks ago. There was a discussion on road signs, billboards specifically. I was kind of ambushed. I didn't know everything I needed to know. I knew the county, through economic development, maintained easements of different kinds. One of them is roads, the billboards. So I started digging, and that is what you see in front of you, just a real quick summary, a simple summary of the, of the 4 signs that you do have. And I've got more detailed data on every single one of them, but in my findings, there are a couple of the billboards that are, some of them need a little updating, repair, and I'm going to come back to the commissioners at some point with some recommendations for these billboards. But each one of the billboards have different negotiated terms. Some of them cost more than the others, and
You're talking about the ones that are probably 8 foot by 20 feet.
yes, sir.
Are the current ones, and I've seen them 100,000 times, are the current ones vinyl or are they just painted on? Because most everything's vinyl anymore, they just strap it on.
Half and half.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Half our boards do have vinyl, the other half are painted directly against the facade.
It seems like all the news you see up anymore is all vinyl, where they can change them real quick.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's all I had.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So some of them are showing public aware, need to have a good update.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do I have anything else? Tim, some of us went to your meeting, right, the 14th? Well, they threw me out because I'm not a farm bureau member, so, I mean, they didn't throw me out, but they weren't gonna let me say anything, so I left. Don and Jesse were still there. Tom came back, they left, so.
Don, what is the short story on it?
It's gonna be very, very, that bill that they proposed, 283 pages, got tabled, didn't get voted down, because it didn't even get out of the, committee, whatever you wanna call it. And Farm Bureau is asking for directions. There's no question on how they can develop a policy that would be the best policy and procedures to move ahead for the state. But because of the very, very diversification in western Kansas and eastern Kansas, it's going to be a policy that's going to be very, very hard to adopt and do it statewide. And yet you almost can't split the state by 81 highway, a policy there, and 81 east, a policy there. In our group table, there was 3 tables set up. There was 12 to 15 at each table. At each table, there was 2 or 3 Farm Bureau employees taking notes, asking questions, generating questions to get answers on. And it was very, very informative, but yet the summation of it, nothing was fully decided at all, other than it's going to be a very, very difficult. But we know how, the water rights in western Kansas probably more of an issue than there are in eastern Kansas. But because of, the aquifer continuing to go down, and talked a little bit about putting meters on wells. But you take these small country towns like we got here in eastern Kansas, and of course they're small out there too, but like in Leroy, there's probably 30 or 40 hand-dug wells, 2-inch with a 2-inch auger, and a pipe stuck in it for a garden and stuff like that. Do you meter them if you start? Of course, all the irrigation deals are metered. Water coming out of the Ocean River for irrigation's already metered because they're already permitted. The Leroy Co-op's got an 8-inch well drilled down and hit tremendous amount of water, and it's all permitted. So it's going to be a difficult procedure to put in place. That's going to be satisfactory for the state of Kansas. Then you take some other states that are not as widely diversified as we are from west to east, like Illinois. And I'm not saying it wouldn't be difficult, but it'd be easier for those. Their states more probably likable from one end to the other, or north to south, whatever it may be. So. But the meeting lasted an hour and 40 minutes. They set a time frame on 3 different subjects, and I got that in my pickup. I meant to bring it, so I give it to you. 3 different subjects. One of them was 20-minute session, the other one was 25 minutes, the last one was 10. And the lady that was, kind of, conducting the meeting, you know, the summation of it, there wasn't too much on the summation of it because she hadn't had the opportunity to read all the notes that the Farm Bureau employees had written down. You know, a lady sat next to me and she wrote 3 pages down, a page for each one of the meetings. So I know they were taking a huge amount of notes. Now, what will develop from here, probably still 2 or 3 years down the road. So there wasn't any discussion, no discussion on Farm Bureau's position, which they're just, this is the 5th meeting they've held throughout the state, and they've got 1 or 2 or 3 more, I'm not real sure, but they're just trying to accumulate, gather, and discovery the facts that's out here.
I think they have one meeting after this one, and it'll be on Zoom,
It might have been just 1, yeah.
where the whole state can get on if you get on Zoom.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
And
But
then,
there was commissioners from other counties that came in, and I can't repeat their names, I know their faces, but I don't recall their names, but there was 3 at our tables, other either commissioners or legislatures. So,
I think it's something that bears watching.
I think we need to watch it and just see.
when it's said and done, Farm Bureau will have their opinion, but they're not gonna be the decision makers.
No.
There's gonna be other groups probably with their opinion, they're gonna be just opposite, so
Yes,
it's gonna be a tough call.
yes, it is.
But the diversification of the state makes it a tough call,
Yep.
makes it a tough call. I noticed here in the Gridley minutes, Angie, that Phil, Jared presented the audit report to them. When's Phil come in to present our county?
I think you'll probably have it done next Monday when he comes, I think.
He's gonna be here next Monday?
Yes, for the budget
Okay.
preparation.
I figured he'd be coming in fairly quick so we could talk about the budget.
Yeah. And I've already sent all the numbers to him last Friday, so they're working on it, and they're gonna send me a draft back so I can double check again. We've got a couple changes you guys would've got today, so.
I see he was in Gridley City meeting on June first, pardon me, June first.
Yeah.
There's a new drawings last week. For their budget here.
So we haven't seen those minutes yet.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, we got set up temporarily. We could do this in roundtable, but have we received any more road and bridge supervisor applications? So we got 5.
Not that have come to me, I'm listening more.
Have you received any applications on road and bridge? Other than the 5 we've already got.
I don't believe so, let me go check. just to
But
make
we're
sure.
set up next Monday temporarily for interviews, next Monday and next Wednesday after vouchers. And if that stays in place, we need to have Andrea call our applicants and set times up. And whether we just let Andrea go through 1 through 5 and she set the applicants up, or do we need to look at them, relook and you know, pick how we wanna set them up. But we are set up for next Monday and Wednesday.
We do not have one received, but they told me someone did pick one up, an application, so, they haven't returned it yet.
We don't have any new ones now.
I don't have any new ones right now, but they said someone just picked one up like last week, so someone's got one out there.
Well, it's still open because.
Yeah.
Right.
They have that right, don't you?
I say we set a time for each one and
Yeah.
1 through 5 and
Yeah,
do
if the
them all.
sixth one comes in, I mean, yeah, there's still time.
schedule
But we
now.
need to have, you know, we need to contact those applicants here the next day or 2 to set a time up.
For next Monday?
Well,
Monday
that's
and
Monday or Wednesday.
Monday and Wednesday is what we're set up for.
Are we gonna interview all of them?
Yeah, we're supposed to.
Yeah.
Okay,
So Wade said,
okay.
That's somewhat the
Yeah.
discussion was, yeah.
Okay. I'll get with you after the meeting,
Okay.
see what our what the agenda is for next Monday. And try to set a time if we don't wanna,
Right, yeah.
yeah, so.
Yeah, I think originally here, a month ago, we was talking about either 1, 2, or 3, or 2, 3, and 4 on Monday, and then, because we got vouchers on Wednesday.
Right.
Which shouldn't take very long. So we could probably, if we got 5, we could probably do two Monday easier and 3 Wednesday
Yeah.
easier than we could the other way
We
around.
could do it either way.
Give ourselves a little bit of time in between.
I think we've normally been setting up hour intervals, either 30 minutes or 40 minutes,
And let's see, but you're not gonna be in here, you won't be in here voting Monday or Wednesday, will you?
Well, we're moving everything out, so you guys
Yeah.
can,
Because we will have, because it'd be a regular meeting Monday and Wednesday anyway, so
Right.
you will, so we could still go, okay? Yeah, that'll work. Want to look at these, are these 2 new budget?
yeah.
You wanna look at those while we're waiting?
We were just missing the one,
Lake Regions or?
yeah, Lake Regions, and then Health Department added, they modified theirs,
yeah. Lake is number 28.
Lake Regions is 28.
and it's the same as last year.
Wait a minute, no, Lake Regions is not 28, Don.
No.
Lake Regions, it's not Lake, it's Lake Regions.
Solid waste. It'll be on the general side,
32,
Under which one?
on the general fund side.
Be 13
32.
or 33, because it's solid waste, it'd be
33.
the 33. But there's 2 Lake Regions.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry about that.
33. And the other one is the Health Department,
42 is what it's under.
and what was the change with it?
He said he needed to increase a little bit,
So it gives. whole
under
new-
capital outlay, under computer software. He said due to possible CPI increase for the electronic health records and annual costs.
Got a total increase for 107.
Okay. No problem with that.
So of course, that's your total, the county support.
County support's gone up a little bit.
Well, saying 21 actual was 182, budget last year, for this year was 737, now we're back down to 574. Because you got state grants and carryover and reimbursements.
Mm-hmm.
The total 270.
The overall total is the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remind, since we got the budget books out, we're waiting on Wayne. Let's go back to, maintenance. Did you, Andrea, get maintenance worked out?
Well, you guys just told me to put the personal services back under courthouse general,
Okay,
and so that's what I did.
okay, so that would change which ones too.
Oh, I don't think I updated your sheet.
Well, that's why I wanted to double check too, because talking with Wade, since Jesse said get with Wade, do you want mine back under the commission and partly under,
And did Wade,
he did say he would like part of that
Yeah.
still under the county
okay, we'll
counselor.
just pass that.
And we haven't got wage stuff yet.
Okay, we'll wait on Wade.
Yeah, we still,
Okay, what about the, council and aging? You get a hold of,
Yes. Yes, and I think both of them are in your books, it's just they look like duplicates.
okay. So it was okay that, 50,500 is what,
Well, she just said it had 50,000,
okay.
because both were 25,000.
When I talked to her, she kept talking about 50,500, and more than 500 came from.
Yeah, that's not what she gave me. She just
Okay.
said, if you look at them, they're both say
They
25.
both say 25.
Yeah.
No? One of them says 25,500.
Which one is that?
The, let's say 25,500.
Section
Alright.
18.
Okay, I will put it back to that then.
Okay. And I think the biggest thing was that, was just how we were gonna send it. It was
Yeah.
going to them.
Them directly, yeah.
Directly, yeah. Everybody okay with that one, then? It's been corrected,
Mhm.
got taken care of? Any others, other than Wade? Wade, the maintenance, and the general, waiting on Wade.
It is 9:20, so I'll try to call him, still heated. Wayne did not answer me back, but it's 9:20, let's see if I can reach him.
Well, it looked like we had questions on road and bridge, extension,
Morning.
and economic development.
Here's construction zone two for this morning, Don.
I'm sorry?
Here's
Oh, yeah,
construction
yeah,
zone they said this morning.
Okay, let's take care of, we'll take care of Wayne first. Since you finally here, Wayne.
Well, better late than never, right?
Better late than never. All right, you're up.
Okay.
Come right on up.
All right. Good deal. Before I forget it, just a couple of things. We have interviewed for the tradesman and the mechanic. So we're in the process of going through the drug testing and all those type of things. So just heads up on that at this point. And so hopefully you'll see the CP2s coming before you here in a couple weeks. So fairs this week, so we have quite a few folks out there at the highway department. Our chipper is down. This would be for our chip seal program. Chipper was down last year too,
They
and
hauled
so
it south this morning.
yeah, and it was down last year, and apparently they didn't fix the problem or didn't find the problem. We think it has something to do with the DEF, possibly the pump. We don't really know. We are borrowing Anderson County's. We are applying insurance onto it, and so we'll be utilizing that one. It's a slightly different machine, but thanks to Anderson County allowing us to do that.
So the one I met this morning goes south was Anderson County.
Well, the one going...
They're going to Snoop.
No, the one going south is ours, our old one. The one Anderson County right now, I think you'll see on the work zone, I think we're over on Wayside between 12th and 58, I think what you'll find.
So they got all the chips are stored out east of town.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This is Foley's, just going down to Foley's?
Yes.
Get Snoop.
Yeah, believe so.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. This is for Wade. It's on that service.
Okay.
That'll come out of that department. Okay. Then I have a couple of things. Now, this map does not go with that resolution. I know I'm jumping off my motions, but I wanted to give you some information first. So this is the map. This is extra copies in this one. So once again, it does not go with the resolution. It's just to show you all the bridges that we have weight limits on. Okay, and then this one here is to aid in understanding what the weight limits are, what the requirements are. This is a program that the state has been ongoing for probably the last 10 years. They're about 2/3 done in our county. And so there's gonna be another round of bridge postings, before this is all done. And so what they're doing is they're doing an evaluation on every bridge in the state, using the federal bridge money to do so. And, in doing so, then also, when they basically state that you're needing to post these bridges, then we're required by law, by statute, to post those bridges. And so, unless you have any questions on that one.
You know, this provides the information that I was gonna ask you for, is location of all those bridges that we're talking about.
Yeah.
The 3 columns in our resolution, you got HS 33, load limits. What's those numbers mean?
Did you get this copy here? Well, yeah, right here. So what you have is, if I may, it's the first one, that's the H. What that one is a single truck. Now you can have, when you look at
So
this,
that's an H is 8 ton,
yes.
correct?
That is correct. On that particular bridge that you're looking at, for that particular bridge.
But you've got, like Bridge 35, you got all 3.
Well, okay, so, on an H,
How do we understand?
on a single truck, which would be that first column there, the maximum prior to posting is 27 tons. So anything less than 27 tons, according to their analysis, must be posted. So this truck here would have to be posted at 27 tons. So this type of vehicle that you have right here in this column, right here in this column here, is the H truck. So you can have multiple axles on that. As you can see, like this bottom one down here, you can have multiple axles on that. Just because it shows this picture here with one axle back here and one axle here, it's all of these that they're doing the evaluation on. And also, too, once again, the maximum is 27 ton. So, if the bridge is capable of holding 27 ton or more for that type of truck, it would not be posted. Okay? So then when we flip over here to the next one, now, keep in mind, what that is, that type of truck is actually, it's a single unit truck. So it doesn't have a trailer or anything else. It's all one frame, one chassis, and that's where you're at. The second one then becomes a truck and trailer. So the truck and trailer and all of these configurations, and you can see multiple axles, is evaluated, and the maximum, and that's 43 ton. So 43 ton, anything that's greater than 43 ton does not need to be posted. Anything that's 43 or less than 43 would have to be posted, and that's that column.
So the HS is that first column there, which is, that particular Bridge 35 goes to 43 ton for that particular.
For this truck,
Truck,
yes, sir.
okay.
And then for the next one is truck and trailer. So you see those like FedEx and such as that, they'll have a truck and trailer.
That makes it where it's easy to understand.
Yes. So that's why I wanted to provide these for you. Now, the emergency vehicles is we opt out as the county to post because they also have, you'd actually have a separate sign. And well, we don't want to have 2 sets of signs out there. You know, so we chose to opt out, and basically these type of trucks is actually calculated as a single truck, but we don't do that, but they're much heavier. So we don't do that.
Since you're jumping around, I'm gonna propose, since we just got this information, because I'm like
fine.
Don was, I got this, that we hold this off till next week.
That's
We
fine.
table it to next, because I wanted to, I was looking for a map, so I could just go through, not that I want to change any of them, I just wanted to know where they were and what they were. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna recommend that we put this, any action on this until next week.
I'd like to.
We can-
Okay.
Now,
I wouldn't change anything, but it'd be good to
Not gonna change
review
it,
it completely.
and I'm sure we're gonna have to do it, if the state says we have to, we're gonna have to do it, so it's not a problem there.
exactly.
Need
Yeah.
more information, somebody asks me, then I can say, well, this is it,
Yes.
what bridge it is, and kind of, so, yeah.
Right, because at this point, you don't have any option. You would have to do it.
We're gonna have to do it, yeah, but it's just, but we need,
But
we
to
need
look-
to know what we're doing.
To look at it, it's great, good discussion onto it.
Okay.
The map will not print with the resolution, because, don't want to confuse it, because the locations are on the resolution. The other side is, the importance of the resolution is what you're doing should anything occur, either law enforcement to be able to enforce the law, or damage to the structure, is if you don't have them posted, and you don't have a resolution that basically the governing body has allowed that to take place, then they could be, out. They could get away with it. So that's a thing you don't want to do. You want to make sure that the governing body goes through the resolution and has that in place.
Okay, we'll table that till next week.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, then, let's see, I have one voluntary resignation, and then this would be, once we get to the motion, this would be the CP2 for Clarkson.
Resignation.
So, the first motion is, for Clarkson, Jeff Clarkson, is we're promoting to a crew leader. Used to be previously was our leadman, and he's in our asphalt group. And, this was, reviewed with Wade, and so, at this point, this follows the policies you have in place to be able to go up to that step 6, and that's where you would have for Mr. Clarkson.
$22.32 is approved CP2 for Jeff Clarkson, promotion to crew leader, full-time. Any discussion, anything to discuss on that? Have a motion?
I'll make my motion.
I'll second.
Been moved and second to approve 2022-32. Any discussion? Not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carries 4-0. Okay, so that means that I can sign this.
Okay, the linear copier, what we're doing is asking to dispose of it and then purchase a new one. We're using the municipal program pricing with U.S. Commodities. It's a government purchasing alliance with Coffee County. This is something that we have on file as far as our number, and then also the digital connections is basically the vendor that has went through the municipal program for pricing, the government purchasing alliance, and then they have their price accordingly, and that's what you'll see on number B. The valuation of this printer, copier, is that we've already went through IT, visited with Brad, and Brad agreed to go ahead and move forward onto it. One of the things that's just a note, the price that they have, the retail price is $26,668.
You want the vote?
What's difficult to do, though, is they say less government discount and trade. I really don't think that's our trade, is the $17,973, but they didn't break it out.
That's what I was gonna ask you, how much of that is funded for the government?
Yeah,
That part of the 17.8, because you know your used one's not worth that.
that's right. So that is somewhat misleading, but they don't have it broke out, so it is what it is, meaning basically that they are giving us, from retail, $17,973, which is including the government discount and the trade. So we are basically, the motion for A that you see there is,
How old is the old printer, the one we're trading in? Guess for money.
I was thinking it's 10 years old.
And why are we trading? Are we having problems, or?
We're having problems, and it's not significant problems. It's not like it's broke down, but any maintenance or repairs that we have scheduled for it, they can't replace the parts, is my understanding onto it.
You know, if it's 10 years old and you can trade it for $870 a year and improve the quality of work that you get out of it, that's one of those deals that's
Yeah.
pretty economical, really.
And I hate to be held to the number, but I was thinking it was 10 years old, but,
That's fine. So, it's actually only gonna, it's
Didn't
gonna cost
do
us $8,695 cash.
bottom line, yes, it's, I mean,
What it's costing us.
that's a
No matter
good deal.
how confusing this is, that's what it's gonna cost us.
That's, I think that's a very good deal. From retail of 26, we're only paying short of
Especially if we got
$9,000.
10 years of use out of it.
Yeah.
I'll bet the government discounts probably half of that at 17,000.
That's it, because it's not because the printer's in that good of shape to be getting 17,000. That's what I don't want folks to get confused on, but there is that government pricing that does take down quite a bit, and a lot of times they'll hide that, for whatever reason.
2022-36A, based on recommended county engineer, approved county attorney is to form, find that one linear copier is no longer required improvement to the county and should be disposed of by trade individual connections out of Garnett, Kansas for $17,973.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Been moved and second, any discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Carries 4-0. 2022-36B, based on recommended county engineer, approval of county attorney is to form to waive the purchasing policy as to competitive bidding for good cause, said cause being municipal program pricing with U.S. Commodities, government purchasing alliance with Coffee County, to approve the purchase of one linear copier digital connection from Garnett, Kansas, in the amount
I know that's confusing.
$26,608 less trade-in, $17,973, with a total purchase price of $8,695.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Authorized me to sign all the documents?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's in the motion, yeah.
Yeah.
I just summarized the motion.
that'll work.
Any, been moved second, any discussion? Not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Carries 4-0, okay.
Okay, the last one is, as we had a voluntary resignation, we also had, a gentleman that stepped up into a promotion. So with that is we have 2 heavy equipment operator positions to be open. Of course, we open it up, in-house, but it's not gonna be filled from in-house. We're gonna put it out there, but it's gonna be advertised, yeah. So, we'll advertise those if you approve by motion.
So, it's gonna go out to anywhere now? Okay,
Yeah.
even though,
Yeah,
in-house
because-
has the option.
To be able to move up, they're not moving up. Most of them are heavy equipment operators or higher, in the current positions. So you're not necessarily, now, it's not just, we will advertise in-house, I mean, county-wide, and that will be put in the department heads' boxes according to policy. And so folks do have an option, if they are currently working here, to be able to step in and interview.
But we're still gonna go outside the same time.
But
so
we'll
we
put it
don't
in the
have to-
newspaper,
don't have
advertise
to
it.
come back, yeah.
We'll advertise it twice in the newspaper, yes.
2022-37, based on recommendation of the county engineer, move to approve the request for authorization to advertise and hire one, what's 2 in parentheses?
Should be 2 full-time heavy
Okay.
equipment operators,
Hire
yeah.
2 full-time heavy equipment operators, no new positions being added.
Yeah, you're right, Bob, that 1 was incorrect.
Yeah,
Okay,
Oh,
this
sorry.
request will fill, yeah.
I'll still move it.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Been moved and second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carries 4-0.
Thank you. That's all. That's all I
And the other
have.
one, tabled.
The other one would be tabled, yes. Yeah, the resolution would be tabled. And,
Okay.
you have 236 total bridges, just information. That's not these. These are about 50, what you have so far in this. So, but it's not done yet. They're still going through the counties and doing these, load analysis,
Okay.
so.
Wayne, I talked to our Noxious Weed Department head, Scott Todd Lemus.
Uh-huh,
On Reaper Road, we got quite a bit of Johnson grass showing up,
okay.
and they're gonna get that taken care of. I guess my question is, with all your mowers out, all your employees out throughout the county, what's their responsibilities in reporting back to our Noxious Weed Department on Johnson grass, Cerise Lespedeza, that where they need to, if they miss something, they can go out and take care of it?
We
Do
have.
you have any responsibility on your employees feeding that information back?
Through the years, there has been, and we've had meetings with Todd, as well, to find out where they spray. Because the thing is, what we don't want to do is mow down what they just sprayed. And that was the big one.
But they don't travel every road either, too.
Well,
So that's what I was gonna say, roads that they may or may not travel, you know, we need to report the information back to them.
as far as Todd, yes, we do have that communication. Our blade operators, for the most part, travel
Yeah,
all the roads.
Yeah.
It can be improved. We can reinforce or restate that communication again, and I think it's probably time to do so.
and I didn't bring that up to Todd, I probably should have.
We'll do that. That's a good point.
That-
Sometimes it
that's
just
some-
needs to be reminded.
If we can improve that communication, that'll help us with our,
As our spraying
Not
program,
need to be covered.
yeah, I agree. We'll bring that up at our next meeting
Okay.
on that one, because that, you're right. We visited about it in the past, but those type of things need to be revisited, more frequently.
Occasionally, yeah.
Yeah. So. Anything?
That's all you have. I'd like to request a executive session with Wayne Blackburn and the board for 15 minutes.
Not without the county attorney. I will not go into executive session.
Okay.
Okay, wait a minute, I was gonna say, does that include the county attorney?
Well, I don't know if he's available. Let's find out if he's available. I didn't ask him that question.
And the purpose is,
Non-elected personnel.
Are you sure?
Yes,
it's gotta be a little bit more specific than non-elected personnel.
that's what I was told, so non-elected personnel.
Took Wade in here.
I didn't see Wade in there or this morning, but he might be there.
Because if it's anything different, we'll be in violation.
You know, you mentioned that the new chipping machine, that was a new one when we bought that a year or two ago.
Yes, it was.
Is it still under any warranty whatsoever, or
No.
did we purchase any extended warranty?
We've had that, let's see, one of our retirees, our foreman, I think he had it for like 1 year before he retired, so it's been at least 5 years.
It's been a while.
How many horse engine is it, Wayne?
I don't have the details on it,
It's been 5 years
on the
already.
chipper. Yeah.
It must be over 80.
Yes, it does.
Is it 5 years?
Yes, probably.
5 years?
Marty got it and he's been
He's on a
gone
phone call,
for
then he'll be down.
4 or 5
Okay.
years.
Yeah.
Pays every bit of that old.
The Wade.
That's what I was thinking.
The reason I was getting with that, it surprises me, so it must be over 80 horse.
Yeah, I don't have the details on it. I have not, they have not trusted me with any of that equipment. Can you believe that? I have not been able to drive any of it.
I can believe that.
Because with Dev being on that, shocked me.
Well, as far as the tier 3, yeah.
Yeah. Worked good when we got it though, didn't it?
I thought so. Yeah, it just did not have an umbrella. That was the biggest thing. I think maybe it had an umbrella, it didn't have a canopy. Our old one had a canopy.
Need an air conditioner this week.
Yeah, on these temperatures, but these guys were out mowing down hay here yesterday, quite a few folks. It was pretty hot yesterday.
So will it run at all?
No,
I didn't think so.
I don't, no, they cannot, push it to run it. And when you got 4, possibly 5 loads, tankers of liquid asphalt coming in, and you're paying a demurrage charge onto it, if it's not unloaded, it's costing us money.
Oh, yeah.
So if we're not unloading the product,
We have Anderson counties already today.
yes, I believe
We're
so.
already using it.
Yes, no, I know so, they're doing chipping today. So,
The DEF system, you gotta hate it.
Yeah.
you have a question on the budget for Wayne?
Oh, yeah,
While
yeah.
you're waiting to get that cleared
I
up?
do, Wayne. We'll just come back, we'll,
Okay?
had a question on the budget. Remember what the question was?
What is that insurance?
Oh, yeah, on work comp.
On work,
I gotta find my page again.
would that be,
We don't put anything on our budget for workman's comp.
Yeah, I know, because
So
you
there
guys
was a
have to go through the benefits.
line item for insurance on there, 85,000.
is that for equipment insurance?
No, that's, basically the quarterly insurance that comes across from the
Yeah.
clerk's office. And so as the insurance rates went up slightly, that's where we're at. I don't know, we don't negotiate the insurance that you guys have or approve, but that has been going up the last couple of years. And
Right.
so all we're doing is taking those numbers and just adding it up for the year.
Yeah,
So
I
we
thought,
do take a certain amount of insurance out of his budget to
Yes,
pay?
yes.
Okay.
it's
okay.
65%, I think, comes out of his budget, and somebody told me it was work comp was your question, so that's why.
Yeah, there was some questions, we didn't know
But
what
no,
the insurance was.
it would be
Whether it was
equipment,
vehicle,
inland
whether it was personnel or.
Okay,
It's the inland, marina,
Inland marine, yeah.
and,
okay, all right. That's all I had.
Close enough.
and a couple others.
That's all we,
Some auto, a little bit on auto, and
Yeah, tagged vehicles, untagged vehicles, that sort of thing, and buildings, I believe it is too.
that's what we were wanting to know, because
I guess I hadn't seen that before.
It's been slowly increasing,
Yeah. We were
what
told,
hasn't?
like everything, right? Yeah,
Most of it's not slow anymore.
now 11% jump real quick. Yeah.
I guess I wasn't aware that you reimburse for insurance.
we send out a breakdown for them, and then Noxious weed, and they also pay us, I think it's 2% on theirs for the amount of vehicles they have. It's been a percent like that for
Okay.
many years.
I hadn't thought of it before. So the only other ones we're missing is attorney,
Counselor.
counselor, legal services.
We're only missing 5 or 6 right now, got it pretty well.
You want 20?
There's no over. If we
I thought we could do it.
Okay, 15's fine, whatever you think, I don't,
That thing's pretty delicate to get set.
One click at a time.
where you clicking at?
When you turn it, it clicks.
Oh, you turn, oh, okay. That makes sense. Alright, sure. Not just modern technology stuff, it's just.
The save timer is pretty complicated. Push. There.
And yes, when you start. Okay.
Well, I guess we have to, but that's something that we ought to do.
Make sure he didn't go downstairs.
Slipped over.
Yeah, that was that. That's what it was. But I didn't know, we never had a discussion on whether he needed to be present, so. It was just gonna be but whatever.
Well, I guess while we're waiting, did you get anything for roundtable?
Well, I forwarded you guys, an email, that short-term disability,
Mm-hmm.
the proposal, and, we've got a meeting set up this Thursday, so I don't know if you guys had time to look it over, and if you have any questions, or, they say it's supposed to be pretty simple, and I said, well, I just wanna kinda know how it's gonna work, so that I can explain it to you guys, so,
I didn't review that as good as I should have. I figured we might talk about it a little bit, Nancy, but
well,
I probably need to spend a little more time, but it looked like it's fairly
yeah.
simple, but
Yeah.
I didn't spend a lot of
And
time.
once I meet with them, if it isn't simple as he says, then it should be simple for me to explain, and then we can discuss it the following Monday.
Yep.
So, and then I did also notify everyone that we are now a polling place, so anything needs to stay 250 feet away from the building,
Yeah.
or the entrance anyway. I think that's all I had for today.
I accidentally took that off of mine, so if you don't mind, you might send it back to me.
I can
You
do that.
Don't mind.
Yep.
I accidentally took it off for some reason.
Tim, you have anything?
We already talked about what I was gonna talk about.
The water bill.
Tom?
Any action on the church?
No, nothing I had. I'm gonna try to get back with Blackstone. Yeah, I haven't gotten his report back yet, which I should by now.
On the asbestos?
Yeah,
But as far as, bids.
Probably,
I think Wade has that.
the bidders,
Okay.
the bidders probably need to know that information before they can put in a correct bid.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when are the bids due?
So we're gonna open them on the 25th.
They're due
Is our
Friday,
Friday.
Yeah,
they're due
due
by
Friday
Friday.
the
Yeah,
22nd.
and Fridays, the bids are supposed to be in on the
But they need
22nd.
that information before they can bid, so we may have to extend it if we don't have that information.
And you said Wade did get it?
Yes.
When? Okay, yeah, I haven't seen that yet, so hopefully,
We managed to extend the bid date via the addendum as well as the report of the asbestos, the addendum.
Don? Got anything?
No,
Remember Wood Creek drill was Wednesday?
it's Wednesday, 8
And-
o'clock.
And at 8 o'clock?
Well, they normally would like for us to be in
We
this
should be here
by
about,
8.
but it,
I was gonna say that was mine. Amber wanted to make sure that everybody stays away from the EOC until you're called or paged down there.
yeah. Do you have anything else?
Might remind Jesse since he's not here today.
Okay. And, just I need to get with Bobby to find out if EMP has an exact date or even a estimate for those surge protectors, because Modern Air is waiting to update the computer program, because one of the actuators that controls the heat in the county attorney's office is bad and it's not replaceable, so he's gotta get an upgraded unit. But we're also waiting to know when they're gonna put the upgraded system in, so I'm hoping that he'll have a time, give an estimate by the Modern Air, because right now part of the county attorney's office is freezing, the other part has no air, so.
Get with them and maybe put a little bit of pressure on them to get that done up here in the courthouse
Okay,
instead of some of the other places first.
okay.
Anything else?
Nope.
Do we need to go ahead and set a new target date for church bids?
Well, if Wade has this information, maybe he will have something he can tell us about it.
Yeah.
Cause I don't think we have any bids yet.
No,
Single one.
And I know a person who said they were interested, but they were very interested in knowing about the asbestos before they were gonna put a bid in, because they could make a lot of difference.
Yeah.
I don't know. We could, there's asbestos, maybe we could suit up some of these people who wanna be county commissioners and see how dedicated they really are. Go over and remove it.
As long as you're leading from the front, Bob.
You heard what happened when they tried to do the floor downstairs, right? JD Baxley was gonna take the wax off the floor downstairs, and after about 15 hours and only got halfway down the hallway trying to strip all that wax, then they realized those were asbestos tiles, and they said, you just put all that wax right back on there.
Yes, you can take your break.
Yeah, we'll take a break. Take a break, that's a good idea, I guess, so while we're waiting, so. I don't know what it means. Waiting on Wade, that's a New Country Western song. We're waiting on him.
Maybe
check.
folder.
Okay, I'll check back in that.
They should all been in the yellow folder,
Okay,
I believe anyway, Andy.
all right, thank you.
I didn't see in there how much rock, like roads,
Close to 900,000, Tom.
$1,000?
900,000. Yeah.
Is that, man, oh, there it is, 800, okay.
800,000, yeah. Our biggest one is fuel, rock, and asphalt oil.
That rock, is that just the AB3 or does that count your chips?
We have a line item there for chips, aggregate. I believe it's, chip seal aggregate or something like that.
I saw that a minute ago, but I think
Yeah.
that was under,
We have a small line item for that. And then the rest of it is just basically, road maintenance. We don't, build too many roads, but we do put that out. And then we have more rock that's being utilized in the, gravel road enhancement. And that's by motion, location, that's being spent out of the special highway fund. It doesn't show up in the road bridge fund. They continue to raise the, needless to say, continue to raise the price per ton.
What do you have to, Wade?
Every year they're up a couple percent.
Move through some,
Morning.
yeah, it was 2 pages.
shortage. They end up with a shortage in the.
Yeah.
The secret is I stay across the hall because they end up short that way. And now she works. Make the line cover in there. Lane, is there a special name for the road that goes up to Redmond?
Embankment Road,
Embankment Road.
yeah, we call it Embankment Road.
Kind of which way
Yeah,
that's coming.
That road is my.
bicycle path or run?
Run.
Okay, that's your run? That'd be an embankment road from his house, most likely.
Going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down.
You sound like the ramp going up.
Oh, okay, so you're right there at the park, then that would be, what, campground?
Riverside West.
Yeah, Riverside West.
Is that what you're talking?
That'd be.
You're on the riverside, not the lakeside.
Whichever one goes up, the state one, the steep one.
Yeah.
It's an eighth of a mile up, an eighth of a mile down.
Oh, my goodness, you're doing that? That,
No,
getting your
actually,
steps in?
It's a quarter.
I remember much it is a month.
So if you do it 4 times, it's a month.
Wait year, huh?
4 times?
Up and down 4 times you do.
We
a
were
month.
singing that country song, Wade,
Which one?
waiting on Wade.
It's a new one.
Let's see, where's it?
Who's got the guitar? Somebody gonna play it? Are you gonna sing?
Mark can play it, and Eric.
We're waiting on Willie Nelson to come back with the lyrics on it yet.
Okay.
None of us are good at writing songs. So I was gonna request an executive session with Wayne, the board, and the county attorney for 15 minutes to discuss non-elected personnel.
But doesn't have to be a little more explanation other than non-elected personnel.
Yeah, I mean, I know what the word.
Where's Angie? Wait a minute.
Andrew Brad or something.
Oh. I guess I never discussed with you this morning whether you needed to be present or not.
Internal policy and procedure.
Whatever you want.
What is it for?
It'd be to discuss internal policy and procedure related to non-elected personnel for the purpose of protecting the privacy rights of non-elected personnel. I think would be the,
Can you say that one more time?
yeah,
Regarding county policy,
regarding policy and procedure to protect privacy rights of non-elected personnel. I mean, the non-elected personnel provision.
I've got that part.
Okay, would you read it to us, Angie?
Okay, move to enter into executive session for 15 minutes to include each of the commissioners, county councilor Wade Bowie, and engineer Wayne Blackburn to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel regarding policy and procedure to protect policy rights of personnel under the Kansas Open Meetings Act.
Okay. Still making that motion, Tom?
I am.
Okay. Second?
10 seconds.
10 seconds, it moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, 4-0. We will go in at, 10:04. I did say 15 minutes, didn't I?
Yeah.
If there's, as you come back in, if there's, I think this is a couple times I've asked for it, but if you have your engineer on call selected, there's a lot of stuff going on, guys, that I'm not gonna be able to pass on to my folks. And not having somebody that I can update them on what's going on, I'm out of breath. So if I don't have them that I can update them, you talked about basically stumbling, making some mistakes. That's gonna be a big one. We got a lot of programs going on.
I thought we were headed down the path with P&G.
You have to tell me which one you want, and then I will bring them and visit with them. I would make time to visit with them, and it just take maybe a day. I mean, especially an engineer that knows what's going on. They know basically where they'd have to go, but I have to tell them where we're at.
I thought
Okay.
we were looking at Cook Flat.
So,
Okay.
you guys make a choice,
Yeah.
but I would caution this. It's not their location, because they don't do it at that office.
Right.
All of these consultants spread it out. There'll be some that are experts in Kansas City, there's some that are experts in Topeka, there's some experts in Manhattan, there's some maybe even in Emporia, but they are accessible by phone, and it's the person that you feel comfortable with. The person that you can visit with is the one that you really want, because they're gonna give direction to their team. And that would be the one that I would suggest you do. And so whoever that is, I leave it up to you. I don't wanna influence this.
Which one was picking up the highway widening project?
VG was picking up the cost share program, on 75, and that's a lump sum about 112,000.
Right.
So that's what I found them to kind of do. They want to do lump sum things. Cook Flat is assisting with the 6A bridge and widening Old Highway 50, and they're doing it by the hour. So you're only paying by the hour, you're not paying lump sum. So if you paid lump sum on that, you're looking at a $3 million project on Old 50. You're looking at, it's close to 400,000 on the Bridge 6A. You add 10% to that, that would be lump sum fees that you would be paying. Some consultants do lump sum. It, gives better profit at the end. Others will basically be okay with hourly rates, so.
With a potential annual cost to this, Wade, do we need to bring 2 or 3 firms in and interview them? And we're probably not qualified to interview them.
We kinda
did.
Kinda did. Well,
I understand.
And I believe Wayne spoke to each one, and each one of them, if I remember correctly, is willing to do that.
They're willing to do it, yeah.
Yeah, on on-call basis.
They're on a call.
We just have to pick one.
If you pick
We're far
one,
enough along that we can go ahead and.
you really need to, They're not running the department. They're running basically, they're gonna be the call person for the department.
Yeah.
And you've already done it for Blackstone for the landfill,
Right.
which was needed. You've already done it for the land surveyor, which is needed. Now what you have to do is do it for the engineer, and that would be the on-call person.
We
Somebody
have-
that they can call.
But we have the 2 major projects coming up covered, right?
Yes.
Well, it's only covered until I leave.
I
Then
mean,
who's gonna keep the schedule up and everything else that's going on?
but is the DG covered on 75 project?
Well, they're taking care of 75, but I have yet to receive any plans yet on that one, and we have yet to receive a contract. This is information I need to pass on to that consultant. We have not received the contract from the state on it. It's a cost share program, so what they have, it's $1 million. We received the highest amount that was awarded. And so on that one is, they have in their letter, basically award letter, it states that they would enter into a contract prior to construction. Okay? They haven't yet to enter into a contract, but we're not at construction either. So that is information I need to pass on. The other one is the other 2 bridges, 127, 128, down there on Homestead, is you have BG right now. I have not seen I've seen field check, but I have not seen office check. So field check at this point on those 2 bridges is basically under BG at this point. And they're doing that as a lump sum price as well. That's kind of how they work. And so what you have there, so next year, you're gonna have 3 bridges. You're gonna have 6A, 127, 128, all potential to be under construction. Next year, you're also gonna have Old Highway 50, under construction. And so you're gonna have those.
Bob, I found in the minutes from May 9th that you moved based upon the recommendation of the county engineer to approve Cook Flat Strobel for as-needed engineering for the project completion of high-risk rural road grant for Old Highway 50 and bridge replacement of 6A at an hourly rate as needed services.
That's what we currently have in place. But the rest of it is, what you're needing is the county engineer.
Right.
Who's gonna be the person that's gonna be working with our road department and saying what culverts need to be replaced, or which ones need to have the permits, the DWR permits, the Corps of Engineer permits, and are they agreeable to the work that's going to be reviewed by an engineer, is what you're looking at. You're looking at that contact. You really are.
If I can, so I've had this conversation with Wayne, and the concern that the county needs to be aware of. Once Wayne walks out the door, he cannot take phone calls to talk about any of the projects that he's been involved with, because that affects his retirement. And if he does, then he has violated his retirement. I mean, that's just, so having someone in place for Wayne to pass on his institutional knowledge to date, why these projects are where they are, what has been done to set them up to move into the future, it is really what you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
And once that
Thank you.
Once that information is passed on, then they're in a place Because if they have to walk in and pick up cold, it's gonna take them who knows how long to figure out what's going on. He can do that and accelerate that timeline in, if I understand, in a day, all the projects that are in place that he's walking out the door and leaving. And that's that's my understanding, right?
That's right. I got 60 days that I cannot even volunteer work. So I wouldn't be able to take the calls. That right, Tim, on capers? You just can't do that.
When I retired, they said you cannot work. I didn't say you couldn't talk to anybody.
No. They told
You
me.
can't be hired, you can't take money, but I didn't know that you weren't allowed a phone call.
They told me, they cited an example of somebody that retired from the school system, and they were working for free in the cafeteria. And volunteering in the cafeteria was a violation of that. So I took it to heart and tried to pass it on to the folks that would not be available. And I approached it that way. And that's why my concern would be is identify who your consultant engineer is going to be. If you make it cook flat, you got them guys already working on your community plan. None of this basically obligates you for a long period of time. You can do it year by year.
Right.
You know, you say, okay, we're going to use these guys now. They're not working out. You know, you can use the others.
Well, some of this stuff may work with the community plan. It's kind of what I think.
Okay.
And if we've got Cook Flats doing the community plan, some of this other stuff that we're doing in little things in the county may work in with, where we might be able to incorporate it into the community plan.
Yeah.
So my suggestion would be that we go with Cook Flats, or I hate to say it without Jesse here, because Jesse's one's going to be working with them for a long time. But my recommendation would be that we at least go with Cook Flats for a year. And if they don't like it, then that commission at that time can make the changes. But to me, it would work in with the community plan maybe.
That would be something that you'd have to, I think, I'm pretty sure you'd have to, by motion, is basically appoint Cook Flat as your consultant engineer for the county engineer duties and responsibilities due to my retirement.
And the thing about Cook Flat is they will be hourly on an as-needed basis, where BG will throw a sum out for this project and this project. So Cook Flat is, whatever projects come, then it's only gonna cost us for, I don't know.
They have in the past as a sum. They could do it hourly too. I'm not trying to dog BG, but everything I've done with BG has been basically, most of it has been basically lump sum of some sort. Cook Flat, they're working with you even on the community planning as hourly.
Yeah.
They said $1,000, I believe you guys recall that, because you negotiated it down, but they said an hourly rate.
That's probably the reason we decided to go then back in May, and I knew we talked to everybody, but I forgot that we made that decision back in May.
I know that we've got 2 weeks to go on.
One more week, yeah.
One more week. I hate to, without Jesse here, but I think we need to make a decision, and I think Jesse would be okay with our decision. It's one of those deals, if you're not here, you're not here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move that we look at Cook Flat for our on-call engineer.
For the county engineer position.
County engineer position for a year.
Yeah.
Oh,
At the retirement of current county engineer.
So, been moved second in discussion.
I think you also need to put in there that you're not sending it out anywhere, because this is a professional service, so.
You just did.
Okay, well,
Okay, yeah, we're not.
Okay.
And one of the things too, I know I'll let you finish your vote, but one of the things too is you're taking this county engineer position and it's being recorded or moved up to KDOT to state that this would be your county engineer representative for Coffee County. So just information.
And the way KDOT works, we need to be getting on with it.
Yeah. They would.
Okay. Any more discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carries 4-0. Okay, and you will get a hold of them and
Yeah.
share everything with them you think you needs to be shared with them.
Yeah. At this point, I'll visit with, Saban, and then he'll decide who's gonna be the person coming out,
Okay,
possibly.
thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you.
Hey Wayne, while you're still here,
Yes, sir.
let's, I was gonna bring up the
Yes.
inspection
Yeah,
report.
okay,
In case you hadn't,
so,
so if you're ready to move on, I think you're, if I understand, you're at round table now?
Sure, we're waiting on you.
Alright, so, because this is 33 pages, I only printed one copy. It's the asbestos inspection report for the church.
Okay, well, can you give us a summary of it?
Well, the summary is, the good news is, there's no asbestos, mitigation necessarily required, except the stained glass windows have a trace amount of asbestos, which qualifies for, the need for mitigation of that asbestos, and that would be in the removal, so.
You got lead there, so.
Stained glass window glazing came back at less than 1% asbestos, but greater than non-detect. Asbestos at those levels would be subject to OSHA and worker protection, so that means when they're removed, it's an issue that has to be addressed.
You mean, does it mean that they gotta hire somebody to come in and do it? Or can they just put a pair of rubber gloves on and go do it? And a face mask, and
I'm not exactly sure what that process looks like.
Do they have to be disposed of?
What it will require is adding to or modifying the current RFP and dealing with, some sort of liability to protect, the workers and cover OSHA. But that would be a part of the RFP, and that would be whoever puts in their bid, their responsibility, not the county's. So, and it's a good thing it's caught at this point, because if it wasn't, then that's potentially problems for the county.
okay, we talked about this, and the bids are due next Monday.
Yep.
Friday.
We
Friday, we open it Monday.
We need to extend these bids in, because these people, I know there's people on bid, but they've been waiting on the asbestos
Yep.
report, so they will need a little bit of time to check in and see how much extra it's gonna cost them to take care of this.
Yep. And it's not ideal, but it's a good thing this was done. I know we were all hoping that there would be no issue with asbestos. And if I remember from, what I've read, at some point in time, there was asbestos mitigation over there around the boilers.
Okay, so do we want to extend this bid process out? How far? Because Wade needs a rewriting RSB.
Well, we'll just do an addendum or.
Addendum to it, but we need to get that on there, so.
Right, and we can get that done this week, so 30 days.
That's what I.
At a minimum.
The end of August. Yeah.
So you can go out to August 26th, which is the last Friday, same as it is this time.
Yeah.
The next last, then we got the county and the vouchers on the 29th, so we can take care of, we can review the bids on the 29th, we're gonna be here all day anyway.
Do we have a motion to extend the deadline
I'd
for
so-
the church bidding to August the 26th?
I'd so move that we, extend the bids to come into August to 26th, and we'll open the bids on August 29th. Or however it needs to be written.
Okay.
I couldn't find the pen. What day is it?
Friday, August 26th.
26th is a Friday.
Bids to be open the 29th.
We're Tear a building down, isn't it?
That's a big building.
So it's a lot of work. Yeah, and you think the thing that might be the most valuable is the biggest problem.
Yeah, thank you.
So one of the things that Blackstone has indicated they could help provide to the county is, technical guidelines that can be provided to help whoever is wanting to know what it would require.
Well, I think we should do that.
Yeah, we're gonna, I was gonna get it anyways, but, I mean, the report was just provided here late last week. And, you know, it's 33 pages long, so it'll show you all the things that,
So that would indicate one thing, is you just couldn't go in there and tear the building down, because you have to remove all the windows first because of the asbestos, so.
We need to know what kind of guidelines that comes with, so.
Yeah, so that's gonna,
I mean, it potentially changes.
it changes a lot of things.
Instead of just knocking down one side at a time and having it fall in on each other, it's a little more complicated now.
Shotgun would probably take all them glasses out of there.
Probably would. They'd still be there.
Yeah, then you'd have to be scooping them all up, you'd be a bigger project in, get little pieces.
Well, then you got it all in the building, and
Did we vote on that?
I'm sorry?
Did we vote on that?
No, we have.
No,
And I
we
don't
have
a
not.
second.
Yeah.
I moved, and I think Tim
Tim second, okay. Motion to extend it out to the 26th and open on the 29th of August. Any more discussion? And we will provide all things we can to help with the contractors to get information.
so this is all being posted on the county RFP page. So, and I think it's a benefit to do it there, because that way everybody has equal access to what's happening.
Okay. Any more discussion? Not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carries 4-0. Okay. You have anything else for us, Wade?
Nope.
Thank
Oh,
you.
wait. Not the point.
Okay,
Not Wayne.
I do
Thank
have-
you, Wayne.
okay, thank you.
Thanks.
So one of the things Tim or somebody brought up was the health savings account, and to explore and look into that further. So I've been, seeking some specific direction from somebody who works in that arena, so they could provide current, accurate, up-to-date information. I have someone with they're with the Watco benefit group, they're out of Kansas City. They deal with that arena for a number of corporations and employers. I don't know how many, but it's an area they're familiar with. I'm working with them, and they're gonna do a deep dive into what Coffee County does with their HSAs, and then see if there's an issue or not. That's just been initiated, but here's the issue. I don't care about what's happened in the past and what's been said in the past. If it's legal, is the only issue I'm concerned with. So that's what we're gonna explore, and we're gonna figure out whether what Coffee County is doing is legal, then we'll continue operating as we are. If it's not legal, then we're gonna have to fix it. That's
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay.
So that individual, his name is Greg Watkins. And at some point in time, I'm gonna have him come in and he will present to the board about what the findings are.
Okay.
So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that it was being looked into, and it's being taken very seriously.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Then
I'm good, Bob.
Okay, if not, remember the drill, Wednesday, be here around 8 o'clock or a little somewhere about that, and don't show up to the EOC until you're tagged. So that will
Did we go over all the, that we had questions on?
oh, I guess not. Oh, yeah, the only one we didn't, is
Well, we
Wade,
got five or
we're waiting
six.
on Wade,
Waiting.
we're waiting on Wade, so.
Okay, so-
I had maintenance and janitor circled, but that's
But
being
we-
remedied.
That has something to do with Wade.
Yeah,
And then
I-
extension council, that was done.
For you. to
We asked
get
Wade, or Wayne, the road and
auditor.
bridge question. I had economic development circled.
I just did a,
I've gotta get it.
Do you want Bobby, 'cause I think we had a few questions on why certain things were higher than they were, do you want
This way they
him
can get
up
something.
here?
Well, I think, I don't know.
I don't remember what the question was.
I got I got it checked okay, number
Okay.
47.
Wayne, I thought Bobby was
Oh,
up here.
I originally circled it because I had that question about the salaries, but
Yeah.
he put Heidi under him, which increased that salary,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
That was
So that was the only question, okay.
The extension council, we were asking them to provide that information on our form. We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah. I'm just making sure.
And the maintenance and all that all
Maintenance and-
revolves around Wade of how he
Maintenance,
wants to
yeah.
use Andrea.
Okay.
Because if he uses,
Say that again?
it always revolves around waiting on Wade.
Okay.
Because if you use Andrea for a certain percentage, then we've got a certain percentage of her salary. We'll have to change her salary. We didn't know what your plans were.
So last year, she was taken out of the county councilor side. I don't have an issue either way.
Was she taken out?
Yes, it was solely the county councilor and everything that the county councilor deals with. And, I can't remember why that decision was made. The
I
good
didn't
news
know.
is we could go back and look
I
at.
didn't know we had made that decision.
I think it was with maintenance and everything, we just, Barb and I went under courthouse general.
Yeah,
And then-
they just put them all under courthouse general last time.
Okay.
So I mean, that,
Do you want her part-time?
well, I thought she still was, it just what she was
The
getting.
breakdown, so it was a percentage, it was like,
Oh, okay.
I don't know, can't remember exactly, it was like.
Right, it was like 5/6 was coming out of commission, 1/6 was coming out of county councilor, so with maintenance, it was like, okay, we'll just take it all out of
Make it be
courthouse
full-time.
general to simplify.
We don't have any years in county commission this year.
Right,
And that was one of
correct,
the questions from last week was if she's an administrative assistant, it needs to be coming out of the commissions.
It should be coming out of commission,
Yeah.
but it's always come out of courthouse general, so.
There wasn't any of
It
it.
always has.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then
Actually,
the other percent was coming out of the
Yeah.
county attorney.
actually in 20 is not, 21 budget is not, 22 budget is not. It's just a commission salary only.
Yeah.
So maybe we need to change that to the commission side.
Do still then the percentage, the 1/6 out of the counselor budget then, and then 5/6 out of commission?
I'm not sure what's wrong with taking it all out of the commission,
Yeah.
keeping it simple.
I mean, you know, and anybody who, I guess, I would assume that those who know what's happening know that the county councilor also relies on the administrative assistant. Do you need to have that within the county councilor budget? I don't know, it's a commission, expense, and I think if somebody came in and questioned.
2/3 and a third?
Or like, are you saying it should take it all out of the commission because the counselor is serving in a commission?
If she's doing things for the council, usually if she's doing something for you, it involves
for us.
us, basically.
Well, that's what I'm saying, it's a county commission expense.
I think it ought to all be under the commission.
I just keep it one.
Yeah.
commission department.
If you have it coming out of the county councilor budget, it's really coming out of the same place at the end of the day, because it's on behalf of and for the commission.
And
She's
from an
not-
employee's, and payroll standpoint, it's much easier if you do have it in one location.
And I don't mean to, if Andrea was doing things for the county attorney, then we'd have something different, because that would be on behalf of the county attorney. There's a clear line of separation. there is nothing that is done
Okay.
on behalf of the county attorney.
Yeah, we had, that means, Mark, I think that was because we weren't aware of where your salary was coming from. And you actually, we are actually in charge of maintenance, we're just direct you to do the things with them. So you're the administrative assistant and you probably should come underneath the commission.
Yeah.
And barbs will continue to come out of courthouse?
Yeah, where do you want barbs? I mean, the janitors come out of janitors.
Why not?
Why not? What's the difference between maintenance and janitors? They both do the same things, don't they?
Well,
No.
They're different, but yet they're responsibilities for the counties.
Yeah, the same. I mean, why couldn't it just be janitors and maintenance together? To me, it would be, because we try to separate everything too much, people's jobs. You gotta be able to do them all. I would think, to me, I would say make them together and you pay them out of courthouse general, not worry about it.
all of them be paid out of courthouse general, or,
That's what you pay out of now, isn't it?
no, janitors are paid out of janitor for
Okay.
personal services. So I can do janitor
Just
maintenance.
janitor maintenance and do one for all the people, yeah, for all of them. That way we eliminate one budget item.
Like our waterproofing and then the HVAC stuff comes out of courthouse general too, correct?
Well, the larger things we have been, and that was one thing that I was wanting to see, is do we want those, even the larger items, to start coming out of maintenance with a larger budget, so that we can see at the end of the year what all was maintenance, so that you can see, because like even when we had the HVAC upgrade, I think those came out of maybe capital improvement, because it was a larger expense. So at the end of the year, we're not really seeing how much came out of maintenance, because it's the day-to-day expenses, but none of the major maintenance
But
expenses.
right now, we've got 300,000 set up underneath.
Right, and we haven't been using.
Under maintenance, we only got $100 set up under janitor, but why can't we just communicate?
Right.
Tie it together, maintenance and janitors /
Now, would that include, so say like when we do the Jace upgrade for the computer system, would that come out of maintenance? Because it, or I just wanna see like, or is that gonna, let's take that out of capital improvement, because that's a large, or I'd like it to see it come out of maintenance so that we can see.
Why can't maintenance and janitor all just come out of courthouse general? I mean, that's where it comes from basically anyway, right?
Well, no,
No?
it comes out of janitor. I mean, we budget,
Okay.
we've always budgeted for janitor.
Okay. Well, why don't we just take maintenance and janitor, combine the two together, take whatever the numbers are, put them together in there, and that's it.
And have them be janitor maintenance, one department like that.
Just
And there's
help-
things
Yeah,
that-
because we as commission are over janitors and maintenance.
Right,
So it's our department, it's not a department, but it's
No.
ours, but just put it under one so that, because we have control of it.
because courthouse general is kind of a,
Catch-all.
it's kind of been like, yeah, kind of a catch-all for other things,
Mhm.
and it's not really janitor maintenance.
Well, if we just combine the two, we've just got one
Yeah, we could do that.
budget item.
Just maintenance / janitor, they're both under department agencies, so we don't make one,
Okay,
because we're gonna move one employee to our commission deal, so that's still leave 4 employees under that, rather than splitting it up. Consolidate the contractual, consolidate the commodities, consolidate the capital outlay.
And that would change how they're invoiced then, because right now they go, one is under a maintenance account, one's under a janitor, so there would be, that would create a new, or just pick like the janitors and.
we just stick with the janitors, and,
We stick with janitor.
because since we just created the maintenance one, we'll
just do one.
inactivate it, and then we can get rid of it.
Okay.
Is that okay there, Ray?
That's okay with me.
That's simplified.
Simplified.
Does anybody have anything else? If not, we will adjourn at 10:52 and be sure and tell Jesse.
Yeah, we'll have Andrew call.
We adjourned at 10:52.
Okay.
Instead of 2:52.